At this hour, I'm Christina Aguayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories.
Federal prosecutors say two men accused of leading a group suspected of smuggling 20,000 illegal migrants into the country from Guatemala have been arrested in Los Angeles. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Eduardo Domingo Renoj-Matul, known as Turko, and his lieutenant Cristobal Mejia-Chaj have pleaded not guilty to multiple charges. A federal judge ordered the men jailed without bond until their trial in April. Neither of them has permanent legal status in the U.S. Prosecutors say the criminal network was responsible for the deaths of 7 migrants, including a 4-year-old child. They were all killed in a crash in Oklahoma in November of 2023.
The offenses alleged in the indictment show a criminal group that acted with callous disregard for a nation's immigration laws and no regard for the immigrants that they smuggled. They held individuals smuggled hostage for months, threatened them and their family members with violence, and others, including children, were killed in a horrific car crash in Oklahoma in 2023.
Melania Trump says it's heartbreaking to see teens and especially girls grapple with the fallout after they're targeted by malicious and sexually explicit online content. The First Lady spoke at a roundtable discussion at the Capitol on legislation to regulate revenge porn. She called on the Republican-controlled House to pass the bill and send it to President Donald Trump to sign into law. The First Lady says Congress must prioritize the well-being of young people because they deserve a safe online space to express themselves freely without the threat of exploitation or harm. The Vatican says that Pope Francis has suffered 2 new episodes of acute respiratory crises and has been put back on non-invasive mechanical ventilation. Doctors extracted copious amounts of mucus from his lungs in another setback in what has become a more than 2-week battle to overcome a complex respiratory infection and pneumonia. In a late update, the Vatican said the episodes were caused by a significant accumulation of mucus in his lungs and bronchial spasms. 2 bronchoscopies were performed with the need for aspiration of copious secretions. The Vatican said Pope Francis remained alert, oriented, and cooperated with medical personnel. The prognosis remains guarded. President Donald Trump has slammed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for suggesting that the end of the war in Ukraine is still very, very far away. In a post on Truth Social, the president saying this is the worst statement that could have been made by Zelensky and America will not put up with it for much longer. It is what I was saying. This guy doesn't want there to be peace as long as he has America's backing, and Europe, in the meeting they had with Zelensky, stated flatly that they cannot do the job without the U.S. Probably not a great statement to have been made in terms of a show of strength against Russia.
In Dallas, Christina Aguayo, Salem News Channel.